Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing a Victorian inspired tea party. As usual, I'll be sharing all of my prep, decorations, and the food that I served as well. Any linkable items will be linked in the description box below. So let's get started. So let's take a look at the table setting before all of the food is placed down. I did share most of these items in a previous video where I went thrifting at local thrift shops. So most of you who've been watching my videos are aware where I got most of these pieces, but some of them are new. So I will be sharing where I got everything. And if I'm able to link anything in the description box, I will. But of course, most of these items are thrifted. So a lot of it, you wouldn't really be able to find it online unless you purchased it full price. So let's start off with the table runner. If you remember from my previous video, I purchased a curtain and from the thrift store, and I had asked my sister to turn it into a table runner, and this is how it turned out. I think it turned out really great. Again, I had really loved the colors of this curtain. I thought it was very, very pretty. I love all of the florals, but I love that it still was kind of those darker tone colors since it still is technically winter. So just keeping those winter vibes going. But I definitely love how the table runner came out. So let me just come around and then we'll talk about the plate setting. So I have these gold chargers, which I've shared previously many times actually. I did purchase these on Amazon, so I'll make sure to link them below. But I have used them again quite a few times. Now, as far as the plates go, I was on the look for some china that was a little bit more neutral toned that I could use specifically for this tea party, but of course for tea parties moving forward. I wasn't able to find the dinner plates that I wanted, but I did find these dinner plates from the dollar store, from the Dollar Tree. So I was really surprised because, you know, they're just a neutral beige and then they have a nice pretty gold rim around, and they were $1.25 each. So you can't go wrong with that. I picked them up. And then the small salad plates, I already had those. I only have 3. So there's a little plate over there that doesn't have it, but it's okay. I'm just working with what I have. But I love these because I found them at a flea market. So I did share these, I think, on Instagram. I'm not sure if I shared it on YouTube just yet, but I found this last summer, I believe, at a flea market, and they were obviously very inexpensive, but I love them because they have those pretty beige, ivory, and gold tones, and then each one has a different floral design. So the flowers are not exactly the same for each plate, which I think is really nice and unique, and it does match really nicely with everything. Again, everything is not exactly the same. I have mostly like Old Country roses, but not everything is Old Country roses. It just is in the same color family, and so I think it still looks really good. And then of course, I had these beautiful green napkins that I found at the thrift store as well. That's also in the last video when I went thrifting. They came in a pack of 4. They were really inexpensive. And then let me show you the ring, the napkin rings, because if you know from the last video, I shared that I was gonna make these rings. So they're not actual napkin rings, but I made them. I had purchased these little hooks at their thrift store, and I'm not really sure what they were for, but I figured they would make good napkin rings. And then I just had these white flowers that I just glued with a hot glue gun, and it just created this pretty napkin ring that I was able to use for each plate setting. So really, really love that. Again, another inexpensive way to make your table setting look pretty in an inexpensive way. So I really loved how those turned out, and I just made 4. The pack of those gold rings was quite a bit, but they were all different sizes. I just really only needed 4, so I did that, but I think it turned out really well. And then let's talk about the centerpiece. So I'm just using an old book that I have. Those are those hollow decorative books that tend to open, and I probably purchased it at either a Michael's or Hobby Lobby, but I've had it for quite some time, so I wouldn't be able to link that. The gold mirror, though, I can link because I did purchase that on Amazon, and that mirror actually belongs in my bathroom, but I borrowed it for this particular tea party, but I thought it would look really beautiful on top of this book. And then I have those little Old Country Roses shoes that I purchased at the antique store, again from that previous video. And if you recall, I mentioned that I didn't know how I was going to use them aside from decorative, which I do have them typically in my living room, but I said, you know what, they would look really pretty. It would give it a nice, beautiful, feminine touch. So I went ahead and I put it on there. I have this little Old Country Roses vase. It was actually 2 vases that came together. I purchased on Facebook Market maybe 2 years ago. Very inexpensive. I want to say maybe 10 or 15 bucks I paid for both of them. But I'm not using both. I'm just using the one. And I just put some flowers in there. Some fake flowers just to keep in theme with the florals and everything. And it has just the pretty ivories and greens in there. So really love that centerpiece. I think it's really beautiful. And I was going for that like Victorian feel, and I think I pulled it off. So, and then I just have these pieces here. So again, these 2 were featured in my last video when I went thrifting. I paid $15 for each of these serving dishes, and they are also from the Royal Albert Old Country Roses collection. So I'm going to just use those. I'm not going to have any tier trays today. I'm just going to serve my food on these 2 trays here, and then I have a 3rd tray, again, Old Country Roses. So let's talk about that tray and about these beautiful Old Country Roses teacups. So I was lucky to find on Facebook Marketplace a seller who I guess she was telling me the story, and she was just telling me that she worked for the company that makes Royal Albert, Royal Dalton, and a couple other of China and teaware company, and they were going out of, they were closing the factory. And so after they sold everything that they could, they allowed the employees to take a bunch of these teacups and teaware with them. So she was selling them for ridiculously cheap, and everything was brand new. I got these brand new in a box. I mean, you can see how really good they look. Let me just put the microphone down so you guys can see, never been used, brand new, like I said, in the box with all of the packing material and everything. And it was a set of 4 teacups and 4 saucers and that one tray that's over there, and I paid $50 for that. So I was so happy and so excited. And she had a few more things that she was selling, and of course I was so tempted to buy it, but I was pacing myself because I know that I'm actually currently working on getting more storage for my stuff. But in any case, I paced myself, and I haven't purchased anything else from her, but I'm excited that she has all these beautiful things that she's selling for a pretty inexpensive price. All right, so that's where that dish came from, along with the teacups. And then last but not least, I have that gold and ivory teapot. Again, that was featured in one of my previous videos for the Merry Unbirthday of my YouTube channel. I did use that teapot, as well as that little milk pitcher, milk jug. I did use that as well. So it has been featured before, and I bought the pitcher at an antique store. It's also a Royal Albert. And then the teapot was a gift from a friend who saw, I think it was like a yard sale or something, and she bought that with all of the teacups and everything for me. So that was really sweet of her. And yeah, that's basically how everything looks right now. I apologize for the lighting. It's not very sunny today. It's a little overcast, but I hope that you can see everything well. And of course, I'll be sharing pictures with you so you can see everything up close as well. So I'll check back in once all the food is set on the table. All right, so I have the food laid out. I have some cranberry and orange scones. I have a beautiful fruit tart and some lotus cookies, which are really, really delicious. And I have the sandwiches over here. I have a cucumber sandwich and a mozzarella and roasted pepper sandwich. Both of those sandwiches are plant-based, so I'm using a dairy-free cheese, dairy-free cream cheese, and of course I'm gonna have the tea set out as well. But that's pretty much the food that I have. I'm not having a lot of guests over, so I'm keeping it simple, but still delicious, and obviously still very beautiful with the table setting. I think even if you're having just one person over, or even if you're doing afternoon tea just for you, it should definitely be an occasion that makes you feel good, and you should be surrounded by good food and good looking teaware as well. So that is all the food. Well, that's it for today's video. Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment below letting me know what you think about this tea party, and kindly consider subscribing to this channel if you are not subscribed already. Have a tea-rific day. Bye everyone.